Hi, Andrea. I hope you're having a great day so far today. I am actually just getting ready for work over here. Got to go in a few hours and do inventory from noon until midnight. It's not all going to be inventory. I have to work as well, but yeah, fixing to be a long day. But I hope your day's been wonderful. Hope your 4-year-old hasn't been crying for no reason too often. It's interesting, and I kind of figured that that would be a big possibility, taking care of kids, children that are much younger, and especially with my own nephews who are just about 1 year old and 3 months old. It's it can be hard sometimes to decipher what's going on when all they do is cry. Although for a 3 or 4 year old, I suppose they now have the ability to talk, so perhaps finding out what they need can be a little bit easier than with an infant who still doesn't have the power of speech. But you must have a lot of patience, and that's impressive. I think if it was my own child dealing with a small person crying constantly for apparently no reason, it would be a little easier to take. But considering it's other people's children and you can calmly deal with the situation and work through it, I think that's impressive. It's interesting to hear though that in Switzerland the people aren't quite as friendly. I'm not sure why, but I always imagined that outside of say maybe France, that that people were friendly in Europe. I know that spending time in England in the 90s when I visited family, um, the English were a little bit brusque, but they weren't mean or they weren't rude. They would look you in the eye. They might not necessarily say hi if you smiled and said hi to them, but they would acknowledge your presence. So it's interesting that you say in Switzerland the women think you're weird and the men think you're flirting with them if you just smile and nod or say hi to them on the sidewalk. So I hope that you do find some like-minded people out there who are looking to make connections from person to person, so that not all of the people that you meet are men, or you have a better ratio of male to female friends than just the guys seeing you smile at them and thinking you're interested in them. Um, I do appreciate living in Portland now because of that. It was really nice in Louisville, Kentucky as well, which I was there for a few years before I came here. It was very welcoming. People are open and hospitable, and they have a lot of hospitality. They're very welcoming, and they will give you the time of day and smile and say hi. And I'm finding that Portland, not everyone is like that, but you do more often than not find people are open and they want to sit down and talk or have a small chat and see how you are and hear about your story. So it's refreshing. It is nice. Um, I was in Kentucky for 8 years and then Los Angeles for a week before I went to Hawaii for a month, and then I came back from Hawaii and spent another week and a half in Los Angeles. And for those 2.5 weeks that I spent in LA before and after Hawaii, there was it was a much different feeling that you got from everyone, unless you were specifically going to meet someone. You know, um, seeing someone or waiting in line or bumping into someone or even just holding the door open for them. The interaction there wasn't always you know open. It wasn't always friendly. It was people were much more absorbed in their own world and their own concerns and didn't really care too much to share them with you. So it's very nice to be back in a place where people are friendly and outgoing. I had that in Kentucky, I had that in Hawaii, and have it again in Portland. So I count myself lucky in finding places um, where people are positive and outgoing and friendly. So I hope you find more of that in Switzerland. I'm sure it's just going to be finding the right communities to become involved in, and hopefully while you are exploring the towns and wandering around and visiting the villages and beautiful scenery, you meet more people like that. 'Cause I'd like to think those activities are frequented by people who are open and outgoing and at least interested in meeting new people. They're obviously interested in seeing new things or sightseeing. So hopefully they are looking for new connections as well. I know it can be hard in moving here. I really only knew 2 people. So expanding my circle of friends at first was a little difficult, but meeting those outgoing people makes it a lot easier. I'm always, almost always, interested in having conversations with people I don't know. So it's very good to find other people like that. And luckily, after being here for just about 2 months now, I've managed to expand that circle of friends quite a great deal, and it means a lot because there's, as we were talking about before, you can get down on certain issues, especially when it comes to things costing more than you think, and being worried about the future and about financial security. And even though your friends aren't going to say, "Here, have $10,000," just having someone there and being able to sit with someone and eat with them and talk to them and spend time is great. It's medicine for the soul. I've actually got to take this phone call, but I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.